AEW's London return is already confirmed. There's an update on Jay White's injury status, a massive match is planned for WrestleMania 41, and a former WWE star wants to retire in WWE. Hello and welcome to the Solo Saturday News here. Myself, Andrew Pollard at What Culture Wrestling. I hope you're well, I hope you're good, I hope your weekend is going well, and if you're going to All In, I hope you have the best possible time. That's where everybody else is, so you're stuck with me today, although I'm off to watch Wrexham versus Reading later this afternoon, so I think I'm the real winner. So let's get into wrestling chatter and let's get into AEW coming back to London in 2025. Now, previously it was said that AEW All In is going to take place in Texas in 2025, but Tony Khan did say that they're already working on, a return to the UK. That return is going to be Forbidden Door 2025. Now, if you are in the London area, if you've been in and around Wembley Stadium, maybe you're eager to check out the landscape before All In, you'll have seen there's advertisements everywhere. There's a big old poster, big old advertising board thing, whatever you want to call it, basically saying AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Forbidden Door 2025 in London. So yes, that is AEW's return to the UK. There is no venue named, there is no date named yet, but in terms of Forbidden Door, that traditionally takes place the end of June. I think it was the 30th of June this year, 25th of June, and 26th the years prior. So I'd imagine they stick to that date. In terms of the venue, though, could they run Wembley Stadium again? Possibly. I mean, you can't rule that out totally. But then you've also got, Fulham, Craven Cottage there. That's Craven Cottage, the home stadium of Fulham Football Club, which is the club owned by the Khans. You've got the O2 Arena, which is a very decent venue that had Money in the Bank last year there from WWE. So that's a cracking venue. There's loads of venues in and around London that they could do. But then you also look at which companies are going to be involved. The advertisement so far does have the AEW logo on, does have the New Japan Pro Wrestling logo on. Do we have CMLL again? Is AAA maybe involved somehow? Do we get Stardom? What do we do with this? And then you also look at maybe the UK scene. Do they try and incorporate a Rev Pro, a Progress, an ICW, Preston City Wrestling? Give me Joey Hayes, man, the North heel. But yes, AEW returning to London with Forbidden Door next year because All In is in Texas. We already knew that. And Tony Khan has said that they're already making plans to return to the UK in 2025. And now we know what they will be. We don't know when they will be or where they will be, but we know what it will be. So that could be a very, very fun show. I mean, Forbidden Door, to me, the concept is fantastic. The matches have been great. It's just you lose some of the allure of it when you have essentially a Forbidden Door every single week on your normal TV program. But that is a topic for a whole other day, and I don't want to be having those debates on a Saturday morning when I've not had my proper amount of caffeine yet. But yes, in terms of AEW, sticking with that topic, and Switchblade Jay White, there's a mild update here on when we can see Switchblade back, and it seems to be soon. Now, previously we'd heard that Switchblade was close to a return. Now, Fightful Selects has a bit of an update on that matter to say that Switchblade was at Dynamite this past Wednesday, essentially to get checked on to see if he could be cleared yet. He's not ready. That was a term that was used in this report, though he is improving. The backstage hope is that Jay White would be returning to the ring imminently. Was previously considered for an appearance at All In and was discussed for the Casino Gauntlet match. Of course, the Bang Bang Gang, you've got Juice Robinson and the Guns. They're involved in the AEW Trios match, the London Ladders match, sorry. Speaking of which, there was an interview on the channel soon that I did with Nick Wayne, who is, of course, going into that as 1/3 of the AEW Trios champions. So keep your eyes out for that. But yes, there was talks of having Switchblade at All In, of having him in the Casino Gauntlet match. There's no word, though, if he's made the trip to the UK. So he might be at All In. He might not be at All In, but the main thing is here that he is seemingly very close to a return. And again, a very, 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 very talented dude who maybe hasn't been used as well as he could be. But hey, there's still plenty of time to do a lot of things with Switchblade Jay White in AEW. Right, changing gears, switching over to WWE and WrestleMania 41. Let's get ahead of ourselves and let's look all the way to next year. I mean, we've already done that with Forbidden Door 2025. So let's look at WrestleMania. And WRKD Wrestling on X has kind of put out there that, yes, WWE is currently planning, as you may have predicted and guessed, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk for WrestleMania 41. Now, this is a match that was obviously planned for this year's WrestleMania until CM Punk got injured and things got jiggled around, and Seth Rollins ended up being in the massive tag match at the end of night one, WrestleMania 40, and then dropped the World Heavyweight Championship to Drew McIntyre the following day. It was was kind of one of the, you could say he was the MVP of WrestleMania really this year, Seth Rollins, because again, just a very talented dude, used very well in that tag match. He's very well putting Drew over and kind of giving him a seal of approval after the match. Obviously, Drew would immediately drop that title to Damian Priest with the cash in, but then also Seth appeared in full Shield gear in the Night 2 main event, which that popped the hell out of me when Sierra Hotel, all that jazz hit. But yes, the current plan seems to be Seth Rollins, CM Punk, WrestleMania 41. This is something that's nicely ticked along. I mean, everything that they've done with CM Punk so far has nicely ticked along, despite Punk being unable to wrestle until obviously getting cleared recently. Like the McIntyre stuff, they kept that going really well, kept that really heated, despite Punk for the longest time not being able to get physical. The Seth Rollins stuff, that's nicely played in the background of the McIntyre stuff. Of course, Seth being the special referee at SummerSlam, there was the interaction there, got dropped with the GTS, of course, and there was the really great line where Seth's kind of shouting at Punk that it's not about you, it's not always about you, and then Punk's retort later was, it might not always be about me, but it's never about you, which was such a great line. You've got the Survivor, I mean, that again, that tied back to the Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, jazz back in 1997. Anyway, but yeah, Seth and Punk surprisingly have only ever had one singles match in their entire career. So you go back to like the Indies, there was nothing there. You go back to the initial run when Punk was with WWE, nothing there. There was lots of CM Punk and various tag partners in 6-man matches against the Shield. There was a run of house shows not long before Punk left the company in 2014, where it was Punk essentially taking on the entire Shield in handicap matches and winning, which was quite the choice when you look back through the match history. So this would be only the second ever singles match between the two. The first one was back in December 2013 on Raw. CM Punk won, but then he'd be out the company, literally like a month later after the Royal Rumble in 2014, which Seth was a part of as well. So yeah, that is on the horizon for WrestleMania 41. Before we get to that though, of course, you've got the stuff with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre still ticking along, Bash in Berlin strap match. Lots of speculation and fan theories of a Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood between those two. In terms of Rollins, he's currently on a bit of a hiatus to heal up after, it's just that the dude's been working through the grind all year with injuries that he's seemingly hasn't fully recovered from, but keeps coming back and again, grinding. But you think that when Rollins does return, Bronson Reed is that immediate focus for him, and then you can keep that ticking along, and then you get to the start of next year, you get to the Royal Rumble, before you know it, you're on the road to WrestleMania. There we go, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Right, now, while CM Punk has shockingly made his WWE return last year, someone else looking to make a return to finish off their career there is Matt Cardona. Yes, the indie god, the death match king, a dude who's been absolutely killing it in terms of making the most of your minutes, making the most of opportunities, finding opportunities, busting your ass. Nobody's done it quite like Matt Cardona has since he was released by WWE back in April 2020. Somehow that was 4 years ago. Time flies, man. Absolutely. Since then, he's become the NWA World Champion. He's become the GCW Champion, the House of Glory Champion, a couple of solid TNA runs, and right now is just on the returning from a torn pec. And he spoke to Sports Illustrated just to say that he'd like to end his career with WWE. I've got a quote here. I think right now is summer 2024, being released from WWE for 4 years. I honestly feel like I'm closer to the WWE world title than I was when I worked for WWE. I'm proud to be the indie god. I'm proud to be the face of GCW, but when it's all said and done, I want to end my career in WWE. He talked about wanting to have another WrestleMania moment, wants to be back in Madison Square Garden, but he wants to do it as Matt Cardona. Zack Ryder is very, very much dead. Oh, radio. It's a sad time. Now, this has been something that Matt Cardona said for a while now, that he wants to go back to WWE, and if he does, it is as Matt Cardona, as himself. It's not as Zack Ryder. That character is Dunsky, Broski, Hosky. Other skis are available. But yeah, this is one that feels like it will happen at some point. Matt Cardona is still 39 years of age, so it's not like he's at the end of his career. There's still plenty left in the tank, to paraphrase Mark Henry. And I think it's a natural fit. Like I said, when you get released from a wrestling company, you've seen guys where they either just drop off the face of the earth, or they just tick on by, or you have guys that go out and they make the most of this. It's not a case of, it's not a negative situation of like, oh, I've lost my job. It's like, right, okay, it's a positive situation of, right, I have lost my job, but what can I do now to make myself stand out, to improve myself, to have offers from other companies, to have that company that's released me come back and want me to go back there. Drew McIntyre, prime example. So yeah, fingers crossed, Matt Cardona. Of course, his wife, Chelsea Green, works for the company these days and is just again, you talk about maximizing your minutes. Chelsea Green, just sports entertainment gold, just steals the show whenever she is on screen. But that has been the solo Saturday news. Myself, Andrew Ballard here at What Culture Wrestling. Have a great rest of your weekend, whatever you're doing. If you're at All In, enjoy it. It's going to be a great show, I'm sure. I'll be watching from the comfort of my sofa because I'm working tomorrow. But have a great one, and I'll catch you tomorrow.